Ladies and gentlemen, it's awards time.
Our journey through the pandemic has brought many twists and turns, but today is a good day.
We've seen it all. The tears are
Humans are social beings, and we Irish are more social than most.
We're so confused, we don't understand. Feels like this night won't end, but there's gonna be brighter days. Brighter days. I'll keep you lifted when you're loose.
Free winner Devon is going to make all and win the Motorsports Irish National.
Brighter days.
But appreciate it. The first favourite of the week is Home in Style. Flying Porter is the champion stayer. And Manila Indo leads them home in the Gold Cup.
The world will change, so don't you worry. There's still hope left.
She's won it today. Corrini, farewell. She's won it in style.
Need a friend. I'll be holding you steady. My love.
Singing banjo, ladies cup and Latouche in the space of a couple of days. An enormous performance.
Again. Yeah, there's gonna be brighter days. Brighter days. I'll keep you lifted when you're loose.
McSweeney has won the Guineas for Rory Cleary. Joan of Arc, Empress Josephine is flying home on the near side. Empress Josephine and Joan of Arc.
And whoosh, away she went. Lotus, impressive on debut.
A dream for Adam Kirby. The musical jockey stairs stopped and he landed the winner on Annie after Charlie Appleby. Lone Eagle and Hurricane Lane to the line. Hurricane Lane's just on time and gets there.
Now it's time for your breakthrough. I'll tell you something's not off and
Thundering Night puts her head down again and rallies all the way to the line and gets there.
soon. There's gonna be brighter days. Brighter
Beneath on the near side for Jack Davison and Colin Keane have won it.
lifted when you're losing faith. There's gonna be brighter days. Brighter days.
And Cold Tour for back-to-back. Finny Maguire, qualified rider handicap. He's won the Connacht Hotel on Cold Tour for Dermot Wells.
Brighter days. Brighter days.
But it's Sir Jack Thomas is being pushed out. Sir Jack Thomas is going to take the mile. He goes one better. Roy Rendezvous has won the top plate for Paul Townend and Whitney Mullins.
You've been running, but now it's time for your breakthrough. I'll tell you something's not all for nothing. It's true. Hey, you'll see it soon.
It's Sonny Boy Liston who's being pushed clear up towards the line. And the Cormac Group St. Ledger goes to Sonny Boy Liston.
I'll keep you lifted.
Perfect Power picking up late on. It's going to be Perfect Power who gets the morning.
Brighter days. Brighter days. Though it seems distant, no, the world will change. Brighter days. Brighter days.
And Plutarch and Galvin. And Plutarch was done last year. He's done this year. Galvin's got there.
Spring is coming, and I don't know if I've ever looked forward to one as much as I'm looking forward to this one. Today is a good day. It is time to be ourselves again.
Days.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're certainly back. Let's welcome our hosts back one more time, Leo Powell.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, definitely we are back. Good evening, good night, or good morning to you wherever you are in the world. Tonight you're either joining us in person are scattered throughout Ireland, Europe and the world for a live stream of the Irish Thoroughbred Breeders Association Awards for 2021. We are in the Heritage Resort in Killinard, the centre of Ireland here in County Laois. To make those of you watching online green with envy, we have just been treated to a marvellous meal cooked and served by a great team here at the hotel while being serenaded by Anthony Ward. Please show your appreciation for all their efforts. Just checking. I am joined on stage tonight by Una Tormey, who will quietly and efficiently make the evening run without a hitch. Fingers crossed, Una. And she will look after the distribution of the beautiful award trophies representing the artistic genius of Achill Island-based sculptor Ronan Halpin. Now it's on to the show. The first award is the Small Breeder Award. We start off with a great story, and I'm delighted to say that I'm meeting the trophy presenter, Sharon O'Regan from Weatherby's, in Ireland for a change. Our last rendezvous was in the sunnier climes of Bahrain, and it is great to welcome Sharon, Russell Ferris, and their guests here tonight. The only clue I will give you to the identity of the recipient is that it is a powerful story.
The Burns family have been long-standing operators within the bloodstock business in Ireland, with the late great Paddy Burns beginning a dynasty that has stretched far and wide. Sons Seamus and Morris have enjoyed highly successful careers, but it's their younger brother Patrick that we honour here tonight.
Ireland is full of high-class small breeders, and Patrick is the perfect example of that. He is the epitome of a high-class successful small breeder.
Better known in his own words as a sheep farmer, Patrick has never owned more than 6 mares at his Newlands House farm outside Naas, but his strike rate with those mares is better than most.
From a small number of yearlings that he produces every year, he seems to always produce one very good horse from each crop. We were lucky enough to buy Living in the Past from him some years ago to win the Lauder, and the following year I tried to buy another filly by Bungle in the Jungle, and she turned out to be Winter Power. So that just shows you the quality that Patrick is producing from, as I said, a very small number, and that success rate is really a remarkable strike rate.
Breeder in the recent past of top horses such as Lowther Stakes winner Living in the Past, Devonshire, Hurry Up Harriet and Hey Jude. Patrick had a massive moment in 2021 when his Bundle in the Jungle filly Winter Power flew home in the Group 1 Nunthorpe Stakes at York.
He is beaten. Winter Power for Tim Easterby has control of the Nunthorpe. Dragon Symbol Emiratiana. Swayzer is finishing off strongly, but Winter Power is 2 lengths clear with 75 yards to go. Winter Power, the pride of Yorkshire, won the Nunthorpe.
One of Ireland's most prolific small breeders, Patrick is a very deserving winner of tonight's award.
Now, sadly, Patrick is not here tonight as he takes his sitting up and foaling duties very seriously at Newlands House Stud. In fact, I think he's waiting for the dam of Winter Power to foal. So he is most ably represented instead by Anne-Marie and their son, Mark Burns. Patrick, of course, is a member of a great family dynasty. I've wonderful memories of his father, Paddy, from my early days in the business. But tonight, thanks to Sharon and the team at Weatherby's for their contribution, not just to tonight, but to the industry over many, many years. And our congratulations to Patrick, Anne-Marie, and Mark Burns. Now, award number 2 is the Special Recognition Award. Well, the end of 2021 saw one of the most familiar and best-loved figures in the business bow out, and he did so quietly and without a fuss, hallmarks of the way in which he conducted business for some half a century. This is someone for whom I have the greatest respect, and what you are about to see will explain why.
Julian Lloyd has had a varied, interesting and colourful life, and his career in the bloodstock industry has mirrored this pathway.
I think he's defined by his enthusiasm for all matters racing and breeding, and also, I suppose, his professionalism, attention to detail, and his great horsemanship in general.
He's done horses, every aspect of horses. And he knows the game, and he's the most balanced man. If you go anywhere with Julian, it's hassle-free.
Racing is something he embarked on under his own sort of free will, as it were. He wasn't something he was dealt with, and I think, I don't know, he just had a passion for it as a young age and went for it.
Beginning as a student at Early under Tim Rogers, during the era of champion sire Habitat, Julian became a trainer at a young age and produced some good winners such as Red Nanda and Backstage Pass. The latter was owned by Eric Clapton, one of whose albums Julian had photographed the front cover of.
When I came out, Julian said, I've just been on the phone. He said, Eric Clapton's going to pick us up at the hotel in an hour and a half and we're going to his gig. The only man who could do that.
He's got wonderful use of the English language, and I'd say he could have been a great reporter.
Switching from training, he became Ireland's correspondent for the trend-setting Pacemaker magazine before setting up the Bloodstock agency, whose acquisition included the multiple Group 1 winner Halling. Having met and became firm friends with Kirsting Rousing in their early days at Early, it was no surprise that Julian took over the management of her recently acquired Mead Stud Farm in 1992. And 30 years later, under his management, the Staffordstown operation has grown into one of Ireland's most successful nurseries.
Julian, Paddy Maloney and I were the three that started up Staffordstown in early 91. So Julian and I have been working and establishing Staffordstown with Paddy Maloney for 30 years exactly.
Julian and myself were the first ones through the gate back then, you know. And so it's a long time ago, and I don't think we've had a crossword between us, you know.
He got this place as you see it now. There was nothing when Julian came here. He planted all those trees, you know, marked everything out, fences, the whole 400 acres. He marked all that out himself.
Really, Julian is loved by everybody who works with him, and he's a gentleman of the highest integrity.
He's an absolute gentleman to work with, and very, very good with people, a real people's man, you know.
He's a great people person, a very good people person. He was great to deal with people, you know.
He has spent almost 50 years in the horse game and has changed direction on a few occasions, but success has always followed him.
They always come in great nick. It's wonderful land. They're beautifully handled. You've got every chance, you know. Anything that comes to you from them, you've got every chance. You know, they're proper horsemen. And Julian is that lovely sort of minimalist in that the less you interfere, the better it goes.
He has a great passion for the land, if not a love for the land here. You know, he was really enthusiastic about the land, managing the land. And you know, if you look after the land, the horses will just thrive on it. They will come, you know.
With combined patience, not only with the animals, but also, I feel, with each other, Julian and I, we have managed to achieve quite a bit. And in those 30 years, we have raced the winners of nearly 1,800 races and over 155 black type races.
It's just extraordinary. I mean, you look at how lucky I've been. I've got a filly who's won, the only filly to win 3 Group 1s, came from Julian. Carabino I trained this year is the joint most winning horse in Britain. That was bred by Julian and Miss Rousing. And then the filly who improved the most this year on official ratings, Alerta Rocker, and finished second in the Doncaster Cup. And that was theirs bred, and it went from 64 to 104. So, you know, what a stud to be training for.
Hello You and Sandrine fighting it out. Prettiest is staying on well with Elliptic as they race inside the final furlong. Sandrine from Hello You. Oscula doing okay on the near side from Prettiest, but it's Sandrine that gallops clear to win the Albany.
Well, first of all, may I say how delighted I am that he's getting this extremely well-merited recognition. I am thrilled and delighted on behalf of Julian and his family.
I think he'll be very surprised, the affection and the admiration, professional admiration and the affection for the man. I think he'll be very, very surprised. None of us will be, but I think he will be.
But I hope that he will be immensely thrilled and grateful. I'm sure he will be, but he will be surprised and bashful. But we all congratulate you, Julian, and we are absolutely so overwhelmingly happy for you.
We're a very broad family. None of us are really involved in the racing apart from my dad. When you do meet someone and they sort of go, "Oh, your dad, I love him, man. He's great. He's such a legend," whatever. And it's sort of like, it's always really nice to hear. And so to hear he's getting this award is also just like, wow, you know, it makes you so proud and sort of like happy for him.
What a colourful life Julian Lloyd has had. Successful in many areas of the business, he's made a valuable contribution to the Irish bloodstock industry over the last 50 years.
Well, tonight he won't be spinning vinyl on the turntable for your enjoyment, and sadly Julian is unable to be here with us tonight. However, I had a chat with him earlier this evening.
Julian, I'm delighted to be joining you online. Sorry that you're not with us here in the Heritage in Killenard, but there have been some lovely tributes paid to you in that video footage. How does that make you feel?
Leo, I feel, well, one can only say humbled, and because when we arrived in January 1975 with 2 children, one 2 weeks old, one 2 years old, who could ever have dreamt that it would come to this?
It's been a wonderful career. I suppose I'd have to ask you to tell me about working with Kirsten Rousing. She's an iconic figure in the industry. On a day-to-day basis, tell me about that relationship.
Well, I first met Kirsten in 1976 when she came over to work for Captain Tim Rogers, where I was already working. And we've been pals ever since. Now, Kirsten, as we all know, has her own way of doing things. But when she does something, she thinks big. And I was very fortunate enough to be the man on the ground that when she wanted to start Staffordstown with its then 70-odd acres, I fell in for the job. And from then on, it's been, well, mightily exciting. You know, we've gathered together a family of staff, I like to call them. Paddy Maloney walked in through the gate at the same time as I did. And we've also gathered almost now 500 acres of the best possible sort of old mead pasture that hasn't been ploughed, you know, since the 1840s. And I like to think that, you know, in combination with Kirsten's fantastic breeding program, that the land has more than paid its way and shown the wonderful benefit of Irish land.
And I suppose maybe to ask you, is there one horse, one moment that stands out above all the others?
It's invidious to. There are moments that have been fillies that I could remember going out and standing in the field and just staring at them for 10 minutes because you couldn't see anything wrong with them. but Alvarado was always a little star, even when she was a weanling and then a yearling. So I mean, handsome is as handsome does. There are horses that might pass you by, which surprise and excite you, but those absolute beauty queens do more often than not turn out to be the good ones.
Absolutely. John Ox, young John Ox, who has taken on the mantle. Any advice for him?
I wouldn't. Listen, I've already learned so much in the month since he and I have been working together. Horses and breeding and running a farm is always a learning process. But I like to think I've already learned, from John, and thought, why didn't I think of that years ago? So he's a great fellow, and he'll do a wonderful job. And he gets on very, very well with everybody who's worked there for so many years. And I'm very, very pleased to see. I think they're already a marvellous team.
Well, Julian, all I can say on a personal basis, I know from many of the staff at Staffordstown that they absolutely loved you to bits. You had a wonderful relationship with them all. I think that was one of your proudest achievements from my point of view, your people management skills in that regard. I hope you won't be a stranger to us here in Ireland. I wish you the very, very best, and I hope that we see you here soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, and how bitterly disappointed I am not to be there.
Now, I'd now like to ask Horse Racing Ireland's Suzanne Eade to present the trophy, and she has been nominated by Julian to step on stage. Please welcome Emer Mulhern. While I'm thanking Suzanne for making the presentation, we offer her our best wishes in her new role in Horse Racing Ireland. And Kirsten Rousing, I know, is watching online, and she's asked me to say that she is immensely grateful to Julian for his tremendous work at Staffordstown, for his expertise, horsemanship, people management skills and great loyalty, and most of all for being such a great friend. Ladies and gentlemen, a lovely and fitting tribute to the colourful Julian Lloyd. Now, the future of the industry and its success relies on the young people coming through, and I'm delighted to welcome the chairperson of the ITBA Next Generation, Anthony O'Donnell, to come and present this next accolade. It goes to brothers from the Midlands of Ireland, a place that is represented many times tonight, and here is their story.
There are many entrepreneurs plying their trade within the Irish bloodstock industry, and the future looks bright for many of them. The Gleeson brothers, Michael and Lawrence of Ahamore Stud in Westmeath, are fine examples of two such successful young people making their mark.
They're hard-working, bright guys, and they're here to stay. They do a fantastic job at pinhooking horses.
Starting their partnership business in the breeding pinhooking sector, their early forays into the market proved highly successful, and indeed their sale of Group 1 Matron Stakes winning filly, Champers Elise, was an early indication of what their talent can produce.
Champers Elise is wearing them down on the near side, peaceful with the advantage, but just Champers Elise is coming home best, and Champers Elise is going to give Johnny Murta a Champions Weekend winner he dreamed of.
Actually, we went up to the Tats Ireland sales, which was a fledgling foal sales in Fairy House, and looked at 20, 30 foals, and she was a standout for us that day, and we were very excited to buy her, and 5 years to think that she could, have Group 1 winners. We thought we'd be trading away at the lower end for a long, long time, and now we feel quite privileged.
Most importantly, for young people starting out in the industry, the brothers have been successful in the sales ring, and their sale of an Australia colt for 240,000 guineas last October showed these Gleesons are here to stay.
We done really well with them. We bought him for 62 and we sold him for 240, and being by Australia and related to rekindling, the Australians were very keen to buy him. He's actually in Australia now. The plan went out the window because our 5-year plan came in probably year 3, so we need to. We're already ahead of schedule, so yeah. Well, it's just about kind of maintaining now and slowly expanding. And
just keep doing what we're doing and keep enjoying it, you know. And you know, horses on the track winning, that's kind of our big thing. We get a great kick out of that. As much as the sales ring is important, you get a buzz out of that. It's the winners that come from your hands or your land, you know, that's the big thing for us.
They're top guys. I'm delighted to see them winning this award, and best of luck in the future for both of them.
Congratulations to them and their family.
Well, I think you will agree that the future is rosy when we have the likes of these winners involved in the industry. Please congratulate the principals of Ahmore Stud, Lawrence and Michael Gleeson. Delighted to see Champions Elise, bred by my friend Carl Bowen at his Archway Stud, kickstart the success story that is the present day Ahmore Stud. And I'm sure many young people will be looking at what Lawrence and Michael do and trying to replicate the formula. Best wishes to all in the ITBA Next Generation team and members, and hats off again to Lawrence and Michael Gleeson. Now, Novice Hurler of the Year award. Well, Thomas Lefray joins us tonight to represent Arcana, where he is a valued member of their bloodstock team. It is very appropriate that the French sales company sponsors this award, as they sold the dam of the winner to the recipients. What horse is it? Let's find out.
I'm on my knees, I'm begging you. Don't break the heart that's loving you.
Appreciated was a beaten favourite in the Weatherby's Champion Bumper when finishing second to Fernie Hollow. But any disappointment felt by his connections following that defeat were well and truly put behind them when the son of Jeremy went hurdling last season. An easy winner of a Cork maiden hurdle, Appreciated headed to Leopardstown for his next 2 runs, both Grade 1s.
But Appreciate has shot clear from Ballyadam Irascible and then Kescon Risk as they go up towards the line. This is an impressive performance to take the Paddy Power Future Champions Novice Hurdle. It goes to Appreciated. But Ballyadam, they're trying to close the gap, but Appreciated finding again, and he holds that 3-length advantage to the final flight. It's Appreciated who's over. Ballyadam was awkward. So too was Gallopin de Champ, and it's Appreciated who's stamping his authority on this division in no uncertain fashion. It's Appreciated for Willie Mullins and Paul Townend again in the Masters, and since we saw win the bumper yesterday, it's Appreciated, and appreciate him, he's good.
Following these 2 impressive successes at top level, Appreciated was many people's idea of an Irish banker at Cheltenham in March, and his participation in the opening Supreme Novices Hurdle was eagerly anticipated. He certainly didn't disappoint.
Has 5 lengths in hand up towards the final fight. Appreciated from Blue Lord. They're finishing well strung out, and Appreciated is over the last in splendid isolation. Blue Lord has come down, winning second place. Ballyadam rallying to full pleasure, and behind these soaring glory. But Appreciated, the first favourite of the week, is home in style. Appreciated for Paul Towering and Willie Mullins.
His breeding partnership, headed by Frank McNulty, must be very proud indeed to have produced this superstar from their mare, Saint Baron, and hopefully they have many more successful days to savour with this lovely gelding.
Well, I have to say I love meeting this man, whether it's at the races or even grocery shopping on a Saturday. But tonight it's time to say, please step forward on behalf of Barnacan Limited and South Lodge Farm, Frank McNulty. Welcome to Frank and the team. And Frank is here tonight with his son Peter. And what pleasure they and their partners in breeding appreciated had watching him progress to become such a giant over hurls. And what a start he gave the nation at Cheltenham last March. He was simply awesome that day. So please give our best wishes, Thomas, to Eric and Freddie in Arcana. And well done again to Frank McNulty and partners. Now, next up is the Novice Chaser of the Year award. And John Barris is joined tonight, I believe, by his father Sean and mother Sheila. A warm welcome to you all and thank you for your loyal support of these awards. After tonight, your trophy will adorn the mantelpiece of breeders who last year won an award for Best Novice Hurdler. And now that horse gets another of them, this time over fences.
When the Supreme Novice Hurdle winner from the previous season goes over fences the following autumn, all eyes are focused to see if it can carry through that success into its chasing career. Shiskin has had the spotlight firmly on him starting over fences, and what a spectacle he provided. Odds on in all 5 of his novice chase starts, he won each of them in exhilarating fashion. A rout in the Wayward Lad Chase at Kempton was followed by a similar display in the Lightning Chase at Doncaster, and so it was no surprise that he was Britain's banker at Cheltenham in March.
Shishkin has one fence between himself and the Arkle, and he is over it safely. All Mankind is scrappy in second place as they bunch up for the placings with Captain Guinness and Eldorado Allen. But another favourite is going to saunter home. Shishkin remains unbeaten over fences. Last year's winner of the Supreme wins on day 1 again and wins the Arkle.
Nicky Henderson concluded Shiskin's season at Aintree in the Grade 1 Maghul Novices Chase. And another easy victory here underlined his ranking as the best young chaser seen for a while.
So far, 4 lengths would be the gap. This is the last. Shishkin allowed to get into the bottom of it. The gap's 3 lengths. Shishkin landed in a bit of a heap when Amble Civil up 2 lengths down. Shishkin's going to do enough without being worldly impressive, and Shishkin stretches on to win by 3 or 4.
Shiskin is another superstar chaser sired by Ratbarry stud Sholokov, and his breeders, the Bennetts, must be very proud of him.
Well, Shiskin is some racing star and he must bring great joy to his breeders, the Bennetts. Unable to be here with us on the night, I'm delighted to ask Rachel Robinson to accept the trophy on their behalf. Rachel is an appropriate deputy, of course, as she sees Shiskin's sire every day at Rathbarry's National Hunt Division, Glenview Stud. And of course, the gelding is another racing star too for the luckiest and shrewdest of owners, Joe and Mary Donnelly. So Rachel, please pass on our congratulations to the Bennetts, and it is great to have you and your family with us tonight, John. Thank you very much. Certainly been looking forward to this award. It's for the leading National Hunt mare. Robert McCarthy from the Beaches Stud, where many of Coolmore's best National Hunt stallions are based, will pop up next, and it is one of his stallions who sired the next award winner. This mare gave untold joy to the people who bred her, as well as to Irish racegoers, and this piece of footage will show you why.
You wrote a
The Flynn family from Dungarvan in Waterford have been breeding and racing horses for many years, and their distinctive blue bird's eye colours have been landing huge successes over the years, with the likes of Melodon and Shulerai standing out. In 2021, the Flynns did it again, with the Niall Flynn owned and bred mare Coolreevy rising through the chasing ranks to win all before her last spring. A Grade 1 bumper winner and a useful novice hurdler, the Willie Mullins trained Flemingsfort mare was unbeaten in 5 runs over the larger obstacles last season. A Grade 1 win at Limerick's Christmas meeting was followed by a Thurles Grade 2, which put her on the Willie Mullins team for an assault on the new Grade 2 mares chase at Cheltenham.
And Coolreevy on the far side and Ellie May in a Mullins set 2. Shattered Love still edging closer in third, but didn't make the last on a great stride. Coolreevy and Ellie May by 2 to 3 lengths from Shattered Love. Coolreevy over on the far side. Ellie May on the near side. Locked together. Coolreevy by a head. Ellie May, they're drifting right-handed. Coolreevy has got a neck up on the run to the line. Coolreevy, first name on the roll of honour for the mares.
In foal to Walk in the Park, Coolreevy had one last chance at more Grade 1 glory when taking on the boys in the Dooley's Insurance novice chase at the Punchestown Festival. And she went out in a blaze of glory under Danny Mullins when leading from Flagfall to win easily from Monkfish.
Final ever outing. Monkfish will have another day, but coming towards the final fence, it's Coolreevy who stuck it to them from Flagfall. Comes to the last over in front. She's awkward, but she'll never jump another because Coolreevy is going to go out on winning terms. One of the finest matches we've ever seen, and the mare we understated her, but she's won it today. Coolreevy, farewell. She's won it in style.
The Flynn family know all about dynasties, and their equine dynasty looks set to run and run. Hopefully, Coolreevy's produce will keep those famous colours in the winner's enclosure into the future.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Coolreevy was a mare in a million for... Coolreevy was a mare in a million for the extended Flynn family, and tonight she earns another major award for them. This is one award that will be celebrated in style. I think you've seen that already. And for now, welcome to the stage, Niall Flynn. Well, I have to say, Joe Connolly and I had a wonderful visit last year to Niall and Claire Flynn's to see Coolreevy and to surprise them with the Connolly's Red Mills, the Irish Field National Hunt Breeder of the Year award. And I wish I could bottle the pride that they have in Coolreevy and sell it. They are the best type of breeders. So Patrick's Day, I think we're still waiting for that Walk in the Park foal. So let the party begin, Niall, and thanks to Robert for making the handover. Well, you know which corner of the bar to head to later. Next up is the Hurdler of the Year award. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, just if you can, your attention. If Carlsberg did awards for sponsors, Declan Landy would be in the running for the Best in-Show title. He is one of the night's most enthusiastic sponsors, and this evening his award goes to a horse who ensured the West was awake after Cheltenham 2021.
One of last year's most heartwarming stories was the success enjoyed by the connections of the intriguingly named Flooring Porter, who developed into a high-class staying hurdler through the season. The son of Yates out of Lillymile was bred by Sean Murphy and he must have been thrilled with his first Grade 1 success at Leopardstown Christmas meeting in their 3-mile centrepiece. Making all at the Dublin venue, he was ultra impressive in beating the storyteller.
From a go, he's running right around after the final flight, but the rail has assisted him. He's back on an even keel, he's back 4 clear, and he's back quickening up towards the line. Flooring Porter is driving away. The storyteller's brave coming home for minor money. Big effort, brave effort, Grade 1 winning effort for Gavin Cromwell and Jonathan Moore.
This success led to Flooring Porter targeting the stairs hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival on his next start, and even though he was sent off a generous 12-1, the Gavin Cromwell trained gelding certainly didn't let its enthusiastic owners and connections down with a brilliant all-the-way success in the championship race under an inspired ride from Danny Mullins.
They all have work to do to catch Flooring Porter, who's over the last 3 lengths clear. In second place, Beacon Edge, side of Burley and Paisley Park, but Flooring Porter has led them a merry dance. For Gavin Cromwell, a chance ride for Danny Mullins. Flooring Porter is the champion stayer.
Flooring Porter is one of the stars of the Irish national hunt scene, and we wish his breeder well as he tries to emulate last year's Cheltenham success next month. The West is very much awake this year, and many congratulations to proud Galway man Sean on breeding such an admired racehorse.
Well, indeed, as Brendan says there, Flooring Porter is the pride and joy of his breeder, one of the ITBA's most committed members. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sean Murphy. I won't say who sent me the text, Declan, but it said that Declan Landy is sponsoring the Flooring Porter Award for obvious reasons. He loves Porter. Well, all I can say is that everyone loves the horse of the same name, and fingers crossed for next month. Thanks as always, Declan and Josephine, for the sponsorship. And roll on July and Galway again for Sean and the team. Now, Chaser of the Year. It is always a delight to see Catherine Cashman here, and the family's Rathbarry sponsors one of the night's best awards. One race stands proud when it comes to being the highlight of the renowned Cheltenham Festival. This year's award winner is testament to the breeding expertise of one of Ireland's great national hunt families. Let's relive the highlight of last season.
The Gold Cup at Cheltenham is rightly known as the blue ribbon of jump racing, and any horse that manages to win that season's defining race surrounds himself and its connections with lifelong fame. Manella Indo did just that last season for his racing connections, and most importantly his breeders Anne and John Lawler. They have been breeding national hunt horses for many decades. After showing his class as a novice chaser when narrowly beaten in the RSA Chase the previous season, the Beat Hollow gelding was readied for a tilt at the Gold Cup in his second chasing season. 2 early season graded victories, including the Best Bet Chase at Navan in November, showed that he was Gold Cup class.
Final fence is coming up from Manila Indo, who's over the last, a beautiful jump. Brahma Bull in second, and third place is Ravenhill, and it's Manila Indo.
All roads led to Cheltenham after these victories, and while Henry de Bromhead had put up a new rider on him and Jack Kennedy, the partnership put in a dominant display to stay up the famous hill in strong fashion and land the famous victory from stablemate A Plutard.
A Plutard coming for another crack at the leader, but over the last it is Manila Indo who has the lead for Jack Kennedy. A Plutard for Rachel Blackmore, and then album photo. Manila Indo out in the lead. It's still a length and a half clear. A Plutard is trying hard. Time is running out, and Manila Indo leads them home in the Gold Cup.
The Lawler family from Tipperary have national hunt racing running through their veins and have been breeding from their Carrageen line for many decades. So it's true to say that their career-defining Gold Cup victory with Manila Indo was much deserved and a hugely popular one.
Well done to John on getting his name in there in the middle of that video. Manila Indo, of course, won the blue ribbon of National Hunt Racing, and what a proud moment that was for his breeder, officially Anne Lawler. Please welcome Anne and Dick Lawler to the stage. As Brendan mentioned in the video, anything with Carrageen in the name is usually an indication of a Lawler connection, just as anything with Manila in it says something about John Nallen, who is here tonight. And so put Nallen and Lawler magic together, and what do you get? A Cheltenham Gold Cup winner. And as another member of the family pointed out, we do have the siren dam of a record breaker on stage. Of course, Liz Lawler, the brilliant point-to-point rider. So well done again to Anne and the family. Our thanks to Catherine, Neve and Paul Cashman for the sponsorship. Now, the next up is the 2-year-old filly of the year. Simon Kearns. Well, Simon will provide you with reviews if you need them later for Les Miserables, which is showing in Dublin presently. But tonight he joins us to present the Ronan Halpin Design Trophy for the Best Irish-Bred Juvenile Filly of 2021. The filly has an interesting name, and she has a very bright future too.
The Grassic family name has been synonymous with the Irish bloodstock industry for 3 generations now, and the family's success shows no sign of stopping. The highest rated Irish-bred 2-year-old filly of 2021 was Flotus, who was bred by the family at their Newtown stud in partnership with long-standing client Tim Pabst. After indicating precocious talent early in her 2-year-old career, Flotus really showcased her talent with a runaway victory in Rippon's Champion 2-year-old trophy, which she won impressively from the front.
Flotus bouncing right back to form today, leads up from Hello My Darling, further back to Atomic Lady, Taj Al Riyadh, and then Ida Koss and Golden Warrior, but Flotus is in the clear, racing deep inside the final furlong. It's all about Flotus. She made such a promising start to her career, then she went quiet. She's back with a bang. Flotus routs them.
Similar tactics nearly won the day at Newmarket the following month for the Star Spangled Banner filly when she was caught only in the die-in stages in the Group 1 Cheveley Park Stakes at Newmarket by Tenebrism.
Racing up the hill, Tenebrism is running on well on the stands rail, but Flotus has served it up. Here's Tenebrism, absolutely flying home and gets up to win. Tenebrism wins the Cheveley Park.
From a family bought and developed initially by the much-missed Brian Grassic, Flotus is out of the invincible spirit mare Floriad. This high-class 2-year-old was the outstanding result of many years of shrewd and careful planning and management by the Grassic family, and their success is heartwarming.
I mentioned an interesting name. Of course, you all know Flotus stands for First Lady of the United States. But Flotus was bred in partnership by Sheila Grassic's Newtown stud and Tim Pabst. And I would like to call on Tim, together with Kathy and Sally Ann Grassic, to come up and take their award. that Sheila couldn't make it tonight, but it's great to have the incoming chairman of the ITBA, Kathy Grassick, with us, and we wish her well in that role. It's a case, of course, of girl power, as she is the first female in the role for a quarter of a century, since Eamon Mulhern broke through that glass ceiling. And we cannot forget Brian Grassick, whose imprints are firmly on this success story. Great to have you, Simon and Sasha, here, and thanks for your support as always. Ladies and gentlemen, the breeders of Flotus. Now it's time to welcome Henry Beebe to make 2 awards in this category of 2-year-old colt of the year. And before that, it would be remiss of me to let the moment pass without mentioning Henry's dad, Harry, who died last year. A gentleman, a great friend to many in Ireland. Harry is fondly remembered by us all, and I would ask you, Henry, to remember us all to your mum, Elizabeth, someone who was always at your dad's side. Now, in a vintage year for Irish-bred juvenile colts, it was impossible to split a pair of very different colts, and in the end, both are sharing this prestigious honour. Time to reveal the identities of these stars.
2 high-class Group 1 winning colts are joint winners of this award, and both are great credit to the respective breeders. The Sangster family have had a long and successful association with Ireland, and the Ben Sangster bred Luxembourg was the outstanding Irish 2-year-old colt over a mile last year. The Camelot colt was unbeaten in his 3 juvenile starts, progressing from a Killarney maiden win to an easy Beresford Stakes success before heading to Doncaster for his shot at Group 1 glory in the Vertum Futurity.
But it's Luxembourg who's been given the office inside the final furlong. He's opened up a length and a half clear. Bayside Boy putting in some fine late work. Hannibal Barker running a screamer. Then to the near side, Sissoko with Imperial Fighter. But he's good. Luxembourg 3 from 3.
Luxembourg looks the type to improve as a 3-year-old, so 2022 could well be a classic year for this imposing colt. Tallyho Stud had a magnificent year in 2021 with their homebreds, and none was better than the cracking 6-furlong 2-year-old Perfect Power. The son of Ardad, who was also bred at Tallyho, out of Sagely, showing his speed when winning the Norfolk Stakes at Royal Ascot before heading to Deauville for a crack at the first top-level event for 2-year-olds, the Group 1 pre-morning.
In the red and white with Have a Good Day on the far side now, Armour picking up late. Meanwhile, near side we've got Trident on the stand side, also Perfect Power picking up late on. It's going to be Perfect Power who gets the morning. Perfect Power.
The Middle Park at Newmarket is usually the championship decider for sprinting 2-year-olds, and Perfect Power once again engaged his late acceleration to gain the day and become a dual Group 1 winning 2-year-old.
Then Couture and Perfect Power down the outside. An open finish here. They're about 6 or 7 in a line. Perfect Power is now flashing home on the far side and will get up to win.
He's a credit to his connections, and with his blistering turn of speed, should make an exciting sprinter at 3.
Well, Luxembourg and Perfect Power, 2 special colts to look forward to in 2022. First to the stage, could you please welcome to accept his award for Camelot's son, Luxembourg, Ben Sangster. Now, of course, Luxembourg will be a leading Ballydoyle Classic contender for the upcoming flat turf season, which is only weeks away. And without further ado, can I ask Roger O'Callaghan on behalf of Tallyho Stud to come up and take the award for the speedster Perfect Power. That's great to have you join us tonight, Ben, and I'm also pleased that Richard Fahey is a guest tonight, the man who has charge of Perfect Power. We wish all connections the best for 2022. I'm going to ask both winners to stand together and just have a picture taken of them, the both of them. So our thanks to Henry, delighted to have you and Vanessa here tonight, and our congratulations once again, Roger O'Callaghan and Ben Sangster. Now, Eamon Maloney represents Darley as we move on to celebrate the best 3-year-old filly of 2021. Well, actually, we have yet another dead heat with a pair of fillies tying for the honour. One is a filly whose full potential may yet have to be realised, while the other has won no less than 3 times at Group 1 level. Time to reveal their identities.
The official handicappers were unable to split 2 high-class 3-year-old fillies at the top of their game in Suesa, bred by Tom Cook, and alcohol-free, bred by Tom Gaffney's Churchtown House stud. The Night of Thunder filly, Suesa, was the dominant sprinter in France last year, carrying on from her unbeaten 2-year-old career with easy wins in the Prix Sigi and the Prix Texanita. A trip to Goodwood to take on all the top European sprinters in the King George Stakes is an ambitious target for any 3-year-old filly, but this speed machine, under a patient ride from William Buick, was more than up to the task.
To go, Suesa has taken the lead, Batage back to second, over on the far side, Dragon Symbol is trying to pick up, but it is the French filly out in front, the flying French filly, Suesa has won the King George.
Suesa looks destined for more international travel in 2022 and is surely the apple of her breeder's eye. Alcohol Free followed up her 2-year-old Cheveley Park Stakes victory with 2 more successes at Group 1 level as a 3-year-old. The Andrew Balding trained filly was impressive when winning the Carnation Stakes at the Royal Ascot meeting.
As they race inside the final furlong, and Alcohol Free came to take it up from November. Mother Earth stays on late, but it's Alcohol Free that has kicked away in the hands of Ashley Murphy and wins the Coronation Stakes. You risk it all to feel alive.
But it was a brave move by our connections to target the colts in Goodwood's Sussex Stakes. However, this good-looking no-nay-never filly wasn't to be denied, and under Oisin Murphy ran out a smart winner from Poetic Flair.
As they enter the final furlong, and Alcohol Free looks at Poetic Flair in the eye and moves the neck clear. Poetic Flair chasing Alcohol Free, who still has the advantage, and Alcohol Free will win the race again for Jeff Smith.
Not many fillies win 3 Group 1 races, so hats off to Tom Gaffney and his team at Churchtown House Stud in Fermoy for breeding this high-class filly.
Now, Alcohol Free and Suesa are both fillies who gave great joy to their breeders. First to get his award, would you please give it up for Thomastown Farms' Tom Cook. Suesa is still a most exciting prospect, probably a strange thing to be calling a filly who has already won her breeder such an accolade. And to share the limelight on stage, now it is time to welcome, for Churchtown House Stud, its principal, Tom Gaffney. And I'm delighted to hear that David Bowe, who's of course Jeff Smith's racing manager and is here tonight, that Alcohol Free remains in training and hopefully will add to her already tally of 3 Group 1 successes. Now I'm just going to ask both the Toms to stand together and have a picture taken. And meanwhile, of course, Eamon Maloney and his team at Kildangan are already stuck into the breeding season, and it's great to have Joe Osborne here tonight as a guest also. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cook and Tom Gaffney. Now, John O'Connor will join us as the sponsor of the award for the best of the colts among the classic generation. The colt in question was not only the best of the 3-year-olds, but he beat an outstanding field of older horses too to emphasise his class. Time to watch him in action.
And I had a dream that someday I would just fly away.
Adair started his 3-year-old campaign in slow-burning fashion with 2 runner-up positions in the Sandown and Linkfield Derby trials, but the Godolphin team knew they had a highly progressive colt on their hands and sent him to Epsom in June for the Derby itself. In the hands of the ever-popular Adam Kirby, who rode a waiting race on the son of Frankel, the partnership took it up before the 2-furlong pole and swept clear for a convincing victory from Mojo Star and Hurricane Lane in the blue riband of the turf.
Adam Kirby leads the Derby field by 2 lengths. In second is Mojo Star. In third is Hurricane Lane. But it is Adair who is 3 lengths clear in the Derby. In the Godolphin colours, leading by 3 lengths from Mojo Star. In third place is Hurricane Lane. A dream for Adam Kirby. The musical jockey stairs stopped and he landed the winner on Adair for Charlie Appleby.
So I had a dream that I'd just fly away.
The King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot in July was the next target for the newly crowned Derby winner. And with the likes of the high-class 4-year-olds Love and Mishriff in the field, it was one of the hottest renewals of the race in recent times.
Adair is holding Mishriff at the moment. Love trying hard inside the final furlong. Adair for Godolphin and William Buick by a length and a half to Mishriff, and he's holding on. He's relentless, and Adair, the first horse since Galileo, the first Derby winner since Galileo to win the King George.
Adair stamped himself a colt of the highest order with this resounding performance. The Godolphin team have a lot to look forward to, with Adair staying in training at 4, and he should be difficult to beat in all the top 1.5 races this season.
To receive the trophy on behalf of Godolphin for the classic winning Adair, would you please welcome Ray Hyland. Great to welcome Ray on stage tonight. Ray, of course, manages Blackhall Stud on the road between the Salons and Clane, and this is where Adair was raised. And of course, when it comes to pedigree, Ray is not shy of one either. He is, of course, a full brother to Jimmy Hyland. So our thanks to Ray, and thanks to John O'Connor and the team at Ballylynch, and we wish Adair the best in the year ahead. Now, we get into the home straight and some very, very special awards. Cathal Beale from the Irish National Stud will present the Wild Geese Trophy, one of 3 special awards tonight to round off the evening. This award is still in its infancy, but has already proven to be one of the most popular innovations from the awards committee. I have known one of the power couple who are being honoured tonight for what seems a lifetime, and there will be much cheering and partying now in a well-known hostelry in Lexington, Kentucky. Get ready for this.
The Wild Geese Award this year goes across the Atlantic to an Irish power couple who have carved out a great reputation for themselves since moving to the United States from Ireland. Gabriel Dagenham, more affectionately known as Spider, and Aisling Cross met and married in America and have been influential members of the Irish bloodstock community in Kentucky ever since.
I came over to Kentucky in the early 80s, and one of the first I met in Kentucky was Spider, and we've been friends ever since.
As we all know, that the bigger part of that entry is Aisling, and she's brought Spider a long way. When they got together, we all knew it was going to be elevating Spider to a different level, and we saw where Aisling had dressed him up very well and looked like he was going to be a celebrity superstar.
So I suppose I've known Spider and Ash for the last 25 odd years, and you know, they're a wonderful couple together. They really complement each other. Ash is smart and hardworking and astute and just a lovely, kind, welcoming, decent person. And Spider is a good dancer, and he's tall, and he's from Leitrim, I suppose. So, works well.
Spider, I knew you were clever from the time you were working and did so well for Tony Ryan. But when you got married to Aisling, that confirmed how clever you were. Because I remember Aisling from the time she was a kid, really, and leading in and out the mares in all kinds of weather, dressed up in this rain gear, you could hardly find her. But she always stood out. And it's not a surprise to me that she's reached the heights that she has.
A Kildare native, Aisling, has progressed through the ranks at Coolmore to become Director of Sales at Ashford and has established her reputation as one of the best known and shrewdest operators within the US bloodstock business.
Without Aisling, there's no way Spider gets this award, and that's the way it has been in life. First of all, we need to work out, and we're still trying to work out how Spider ever made it out of Leitrim. Still haven't figured that out. Fortunately, he met Aisling, who has guided him through his path in Kentucky.
She has got a lot of respect in the horse community. She's the queen among all the young females in the community. They look up to her, and she's been a great help to them over the years.
I've always joked about the fact that when she got married to Gabriel, she made the comment she was going to leave it to Aisling Cross for a while because the Americans can't say Aisling and certainly wouldn't be able to say Dignan.
And she's been the utmost help to all of us, and she keeps everybody on the straight and narrow. She keeps everybody's morale up.
Gabriel was president of Castleton Lions for the Ryan family before a successful collaboration with Pat Costello in Paramount Sales, one of the top-class sales agencies in America.
We've partnered up with horses and Paramount Sales, and it's been an unbelievable trip.
I have known Spider and Aisling, for about 20 years now, and Spider operated his boarding and equine operation on our farm for about 10 years before they bought Springhouse Farm. So it was really fun to get to know them, especially during those years when they had young children. They're often awesome kids, Eva and Freddie. We've had some partnerships together.
Aisling and Gabriel have also founded their own stud at Springhouse Farm, and among the many high-class horses to have passed through their hands are the Kentucky Derby winner Nyquist and the Grade 1 winner Brody's Cause.
Nyquist, an exaggerator. They're coming to the line together, and Nyquist is still unbeaten. He has won the Kentucky Derby.
A much admired and loved couple, Aisling and Gabriel have had a hugely successful career in their adopted nation.
They have been very good to everyone here. Spider seems to get a lot of shit about from where he's from, but I think Leitrim's a great place, Spider.
Spider, I still can't come and bring myself to call him anything other than Spider, and I think he's probably the most famous guy that's ever come out of Leitrim, or maybe he's the only guy we know that's ever come out of Leitrim.
I have to say that both Spider and Aisling have been great friends to me and my wife since I've been over here. We've been partners in business for as long as I can remember, basically since I got off the plane, I'd say. From his wedding in Ireland to two lovely kids that they have, and
We have Christmases and Thanksgivings together every year, and I couldn't ask for a better friend, or both of them, Aisling and him.
I always have been amazed by their wit and their sense of humor, and by their hard work, and by their toughness when they need to be tough, and really just overall by their commitment to the industry, to the community, and to their family.
They have been our family away from home since I came over here as a student. Just a decent, nice couple that show up for everybody at every possible beck and call. You can always count on them. And I'm very glad that they're getting this recognition. It's well deserved, and I hope they enjoy the night.
Everybody in the Irish horse industry toasts their success and wish them well into the future.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel and Aisling Duignan are two of the most loved and popular people in the business. At the centre of the Irish community, and I'm delighted they've made the transatlantic trip to be with us tonight. I give you Spider and Aisling. To get a couple of words from both of them. I think to date, Gay O'Callaghan was the only one to evade me with an Olympic jump off the stage a couple of years ago. Hopefully we won't have any runners tonight. And maybe I'll just have a few words with you both. Wow, some tribute. I'm just looking, start with Leitrim's most famous son. Well, now, I checked it out, and one of the leaders of the 1916 Easter Rising came from Leitrim, so you're probably the second most famous man out of Leitrim.
I think further down the line than that, but...
Tell me, where's the horse connection?
Well, my dad loved horses, and there was always a couple of horses around the house, and him and my older brother, Cahill, they were always the guys that kind of broke neighbours' horses, and I was just one of those kids. I always loved ponies. Didn't like studies as much as ponies, but so I eventually got one and did the Gymkhana shows, took the jumping as far as I could, and one day I realized I wasn't going to make a great living doing that. So I wandered into early stud, and Patsy Walsh gave me a job there, and that was a great learning ground that started me off in the thoroughbred business.
And you went to Kentucky as a working student, 1985, to Circle O Farm. And within a year, you were the manager.
Well, yeah. Bill O'Neill was a fantastic man. He was really good to me, but he was like a father to the whole Irish community out there at the time. And probably like everything else in life, it was time. And he was getting a little older, needed somebody to give him a helping hand, and I just happened to be there.
Well, you must have impressed him. I suppose, apart from obviously wooing and marrying Aisling, what's the highlight of the career been so far?
Well, it's been a long one, so there's been quite a few good moments. Starting off, when myself, Pat Costello, and Ted Campion, we started the lads, and from very humble beginnings, we had great success. One night we sold one for $650, and an hour later we sold another for $900. That was a hell of a night. It was good for business in McCarthy's as well. And then setting up Castleton Lions for Dr. Ryan and bringing Malibu Moon there. I was proud of that. You're always proud of when you breed a good horse. And myself and Aisling starting off Springhouse Farm, and I'm proud of. That's been
What's that, a decade ago?
Just a little less, probably about, I think it's 9 years now.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I know this is a partnership based on equality, and one in which I suppose the industry identifies you as powerhouses. I've known Aisling's family for a very long time. Your mum and dad enjoyed great success as owners, were great party hosts. But I want to read a message I got this evening from Malachy Ryan. And this is what it says. I worked with Aisling and Ash for 12 years, and she was like my Kentucky mammy. It was absolutely brilliant to have worked with her, and for me, she is the Queen of Kentucky. Please pass on my best wishes. I know she's hiding there in the corner, and how do you feel about those tributes, and how do you think she feels about them?
Well, first of all, I think she deserves them. I think she's proud of them, yeah. Are you?
Come over here to me now. You're definitely now. I said I'd get some word out of you at least. Now, I'm going to finish up, and I'm going to ask you to tell me the best quality of each of you. So, what's his best quality?
Why is it taking so long?
Patience, I'd say. He'll wait before he makes a decision, and he doesn't do anything off the cuff, so I think that works well.
And is there anything to better Queen of Kentucky?
Better get this answer right. Look, we all know, we've heard all about her business, but to me, the part of her that's the most important job she has is being a mother. She takes that the most serious, and she is a fantastic mother, and I'd have to say that's a great quality.
Well, I know that so many people from Kentucky contacted me about tonight. I know there's a huge gang in McCarthy's watching this tonight, and I know if we probably could, if we listened, we could probably hear them cheering. It was a wonderful tribute to you both, well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, Spider and Aisling. No doubt about it, two of the most popular people in the business. Now, our penultimate award, the Contribution to the Industry Award. My colleague Mark Costello has the pleasant task now of giving the award for making a significant contribution to the Irish industry. As you will see from this footage, the winner is one of the most popular people at the sales, one of the shrewdest judges of horseflesh, and a thoroughly nice human being. Who is this legend?
The Irish bloodstock industry is largely an export-driven one, and Irish horses enjoy a wonderful reputation around the world. Over the years, foreign buyers have recognised the quality and value available in Ireland and have been highly successful with their strong support for Irish-bred horses. One such man is David Minton.
David is synonymous with National Hunt Racing. National Hunt Racing in Ireland. He has been a stalwart of the Irish industry for the last 40, 50 years.
Minty's love affair with Ireland goes way before I was with him. I've been with him 34 years, but when I started work for him, it was all very well entrenched. He'd been 15 years with the Curragh Bloodstock Agency, so he was with an Irish firm. He was based the UK operations, but he had a lifelong friend with Johnny Harrington there.
Well, Minty's been there forever. This year, I'll have been in the business for 40 years, and for every one of those 40 years, Minty has been a major player at every sale I've been involved in, really.
When we're at an Derby sale and we walk in to buy a horse, I look up the top right where the 7 Trevor will always be and hope to God he wasn't there. When he's there, you knew he had a battle on.
I've known him, over the last 20 years. He's always thoroughly pleasant. He'll always give you a friendly word of advice or a suggestion, and he's always pleasant.
Anytime you wanted any help, any advice, a nudge in the right direction, he was always there and would give you confidence and would say kick on or say well done, lovely horse, even if he didn't mean it.
He gives huge confidence when he arrives at the sales. I mean, if he's not at the sales, it's very quickly pointed out to you that David Minton isn't here. So you do everything in your power to get David Minton to the sales.
The great thing about Minty is he is the ultimate business generator. Minty doesn't go to a sale for any other reason than to do business, and he's a generator of business. He's one of life's huge enthusiasts, always sees the best in both horses and people, and when he's at a sale, he makes things happen. So he's been a very positive influence at so many sales down the years, and of course, bought endless champions.
Ruby Walsh is going to win the John Smith's Grand National on Hedgehunter. Fell in the last year, but too good for them this time. Hedgehunter wins it.
Bala Briggs, driven out by Jason Maguire. Donald McQueen follows in his father's footsteps, and Donald McQueen trains his first John Smith's Grand National winner. Jason Maguire and Bala Briggs win the National for Trevor Hemmings. Cutting him back near the line, Many Clouds clinging on tenaciously from St. R in the colours of Trevor Hemmings. It's Many Clouds who wins the Crabbies Grand National.
You know, the late, great Sir Trevor Hemmings is one, and the equally great Nicky Henderson, champion trainer multiple times, have relied almost exclusively on Minty and his advice and his eye.
I think anything that he has with his old partner in crime, Nicky Henderson, I think they all give him huge satisfaction. You know, they're great friends, they go back a long way. You know, the likes of Altior, Sprint to Sacra, you know, I think that partnership, anything in that partnership gives him huge pleasure.
I would imagine Altior is right up there on his list. He should be very proud of him. Came from the sale here in Ireland at the Land Rover and
outbid both of us.
And outbid Eddie for him. So well done, Minty, but yeah.
Minty can sum a horse up very quickly, and when he likes a horse, he goes for a horse he values. He's like all the good bloodstock agents in that he doesn't listen to any of my nonsense from the rostrum. When Minty decides what he's bidding, he bids.
He's been a very, very good judge over the years. I mean, look, the list of horses, I mean, is endless, the number of good horses he's bought over the years.
This guy has done more for Ireland and more for the Irish breeding industry than anybody I know. He's been a complete supporter of Irish bloodstock and of Irish people. And there's no side to Minty, just a good side.
If you've got Minty as a friend, you've got a very, very good friend. And he's been a very good friend to me, to my family, and to the organisations I've worked for.
In 20 odd years' time, I hope I've got his passion and enthusiasm and optimism, because I'm sometimes not always the most optimistic, but he always thinks they're going to win. And that's a great asset.
But he's been a critical part of the Irish national hunt industry for so long, and I hope for many years to come.
Yeah, I regularly write to Minty, text him, WhatsApp him, and just say, thanks, Minty, because he's a great fella.
One of the great friends of the Irish bloodstock industry, we thank David Minton for all his support over the years and congratulate him and all his clients on the tremendous success they have enjoyed with Irish bred horses through the years.
Well, David Minton should be a candidate for an honorary citizenship after those tributes, but tonight we celebrate his contribution to Ireland and our industry with a special award. Come on up, David Minton.
Quite a response.
Oh, marvellous. It was a great honour. Thank you very much to
Well,
ITBA.
well deserved. What does it mean to you?
Oh, a lot. Oh, goodness gracious. To be 50 years in the business as of this year.
This spring, yes.
Spring, yeah. First visit to Ireland was in 1972. And I ended up at J. Harrington's. Put me off gin and tonic for the rest of my life, so that was all right.
You hadn't allowed for Irish measures?
No. I only had two. There's Harry Beebe and Johnny sitting there laughing, and I got back to my digs, got the helicopter spins, lay in the middle of the floor. Oh, so ill. Never touched gin again. And they're the two men who probably were as big an influence on my life as they could be, you know.
That was fantastic. I mean, do you recognize the man they talk about in the clip? You sound a bit of an angel.
Well, yeah, I was a bit surprised with one or two of the comments. Yeah, that was lovely. Thanks, Eddie. I did give him plenty of advice when he was young. Not anymore, though.
Did you take it?
No, of course not.
Just as well, probably. On a serious note, tell me about working, I suppose, first of all, with the legend of the industry, Johnny Harrington.
Well, he was a legend, right? Yeah, we went back a hell of a long time. He was just a great judge, lovely man, great character, and we used to get into quite a lot of trouble together as well. Until Jesse came along, then we had to behave ourselves a bit more back then. But he was wonderful. He used to arrive over home in Shropshire. Oh, I said, I just had to get away from home, get away from all those women around me. And then he'd ring me up. He'd go back on the ferry, and Jessie, she loves this story anyway. And he'd ring up, "Where's my car?" I said, "Johnny, you're on the ferry." "Well, I can't find it." Anyway, he's always on the wrong floor, you see. But anyway.
He was a better judge of horse than...
He was a wonderful man. Wonderful man, yeah.
The list of horses there, I mean, some of the greats, and I suppose it's a bit like asking one to pick a favourite family member or whatever. Is there a favourite horse? I mean, I always sense that Remittance Man has a special place in your heart.
Well, he would be the first best of the horses we bought with Nicky. Nicky started in 78, and we bought Remittance Man at Ballsbridge for 18,000 off Jerry Rowan. Johnny gave me grief about that. He said he could have bought him for 12,000 the week before off Jerry. Anyway, he was just a superb athlete. I suppose it's quite hard when you've got horses like Sprinter Sacre and Altior and now Shishkin coming along. I can't really pick any. The one that gave me most satisfaction in my life was Myself, who we bought for 27,000, a little chestnut filly. And when she won the Triumph Hurdle for Million in Mind, where all my relations were shareholders, that gave me a great satisfaction, Myself.
And plenty of brownie points, no doubt.
A lot of brownie points, yeah, definitely.
Tell me about that young Bromley fella.
Oh, well, at the age of 12, he said to me, "I'm going to work for you one day." I said, "Don't be so serious." He was very bright. He went to the same school. I was useless at school. He was very bright at school. Came down at 17. I said, "You better go off to university or do something." No, I'm going to stay down here. And he stayed in Newmarket at 17, never went home. And I sent him off on a few courses. He went to Cheveley Park, then he went to Shadwell. And then I sent him over to Three Chimneys. No, it wasn't. Lane's End. And then City Bugger.
Kept coming back. He wasn't getting the message.
He fractured his leg playing soccer in America, would you believe? Anyway, we got him back, and he never left since. And it's been a tremendous partnership.
Now, I can only imagine sitting with you for a night and hearing story after story after story. Is there a funny story you can actually tell us tonight?
No. Not printable.
What goes on tour stays on tour?
It certainly does, always has done, yes. It would be a bit unfair to do that, yeah. No, you can't do that, no. We're going to talk about Cheltenham, weren't we?
I thought if I stayed here long enough, I might have ended up enticing you. You must be looking forward. I know Cheltenham is a big part of your year, probably in many ways the highlight of the year. What are you looking forward to most next month?
Well, I've never missed it since 1973, until last year, sadly. This year, I suppose Shishkin's the obvious one. But there's a horse called Hillcrest, who I've got a great sweet spot. 18 hands, he's a bit of a freak. And the win at Haydock was pretty awe-inspiring. And Henry said he's never known he'd come back as fresh as paint from that. And I think he'll go for the Albert Bartlett. That's the plan at the moment. and he'll get 3 miles, but it's next year. It's the future with him. He could be anything.
He's bred not too far from Jesse, I think.
Oh, no, absolutely down the road, yeah. I have a very good mare and by a wonderful sire who's done terribly well, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Now, we're lucky to have you here tonight. You had a bit of a health scare recently.
I did. Well, yes, I went to Bangor Races, had a bit of a flutter with the old ticker, had an angiogram on Monday. When I came round, I said, now what about Ireland next weekend? He said, as long as you behave yourself.
And have you?
So far. And I know you're going to lose 30 pounds in weight by the time I see you in June. So that's me buggered, really.
And just before you go, it's a thoroughly well-deserved award, and I suppose the reaction here tonight. But we lost a great friend in the last week or so, and I know that you'll miss him, as we all will.
Yes.
And this is Robert Chugg, or all known as Chuggy.
Chuggy died 10 days ago. He was a great friend to, well, most of us in here. Everybody in Ireland knew him. We all knew him. We're going to have a big party. Well, it will be 2 weeks tomorrow, 14th. And he was just amazing, man. He was a catastrophic farmer. The stories that are going to come out and the pictures you'll see will be fantastic. In fact, you won't believe them most of the time. Anyway.
Well, he was certainly 79 going on 29.
Yes, he thought he was. Yes, he weighed himself every morning. We thought he was indestructible. Then sadly, the old ticker passed away, and that was it. So.
Well, listen, we send our best to Jackie and our sincere sympathies. But tonight is a night of celebration. David Minton, you've been a wonderful, wonderful friend to Ireland.
I was going to say that my wife, I've got to say nice words about her.
Well, I was going to ask you. I always ask about the power behind the throne. Juliet.
She is totally the power behind the throne. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So that's it.
Well, listen, thank you very much. David Minton, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I go on with the final award this evening, could I ask all of the award winners to go straight to the reception after the final presentation for the traditional group photograph? And if you do it in good time, I'll be in credit with Caroline Norris for a while to come. Now, John McHenry and Minister Martin Hayden will come forward now to present one of the most coveted awards in our industry, and that is the latest inductees into the ITBA's Hall of Fame. You will see a full list of past honorees on the table, but for those of you watching online, all I can say is that it is truly a who's who of the industry. Just before I go ahead, I would like to address a few words to Minister Hayden and thank him for his continued interest in our sector and his efforts on our behalf, and indeed colleagues in the Oireachtas. In particular, I'd like to compliment him for his work in the area of education and his efforts with Horse Racing Ireland and the ITBA in the area of farm safety. And another issue, of course, on which he has provided invaluable assistance is with the procurement of work visas. So thank you, Minister Hayden. Now, in a year that was outstanding, even by their usual high standards of success, the power couple about to be revealed are truly worthy of joining the illustrious roster of former winners. The pride of the Midlands and truly set at the heart of the business, the new names on the Hall of Fame roster are...
Inductees into the Irish Thoroughbred Breeders Association Hall of Fame are chosen on the basis of a significant contribution made to the sector throughout their career. The new names on this celebrated list are most certainly deserving of this high honour.
Well, on the surface of it, he runs a family-run business in County Westmeath with his wife Anne, two sons, Henry and Roger. And you'd think that might be a small enough business, standing stallions, sprint stallions, but actually it's a huge concern, and they have success that reverberates all around the world.
And I think that's a lot down to Tony, but also to Anne and to Roger and Henry. From what I have seen over the last number of years, their dedication is par excellence.
Like Mum did the night watching for 25 years, like she did all the foaling, you know, and Mum did the nights and Dad did the days, like, you know.
Look, when it's a small operation, everyone does everything. My mum did the foaling during the night, and then when my dad got up, she'd give my dad a hand doing the feeding. And to be honest, even now, when we're watching the mares, she has an innate ability to predict when they're going to foal. Just a lot of kind of old wives' tales, stuff you wouldn't read in a book. It just shows like the time she spent, the care she put in, and with both of them.
They've worked hard to get here, and everything they've got, they've earned.
They're incredible, whether you're talking about bringing a yearling to the sales, whether you're talking about doing a breeze up, whether you're talking about, you know, a stallion. I mean, he encompasses, if anyone can aspire to someone like him, that's what they should. Hard work, knowledge, yeah, and being a thoroughly good person, you know.
He is incredibly successful on a world stage.
With Anne at his side, and in recent years, Henry and Roger, they have developed Tally-Ho into one of the most preeminent stud farms and stallion stations in the world.
With the success he's got over the last, especially the last 20 years, with stallions, like he's come up with one stallion after another all the way back to the end payment. It's just unbelievable, so it is.
In this game, it's a great game for giving a kick up the backside, you know, and I'd have to say what I'd be very proud of is how they've dealt with when the punch have gone against them. You know, remember, a huge blow was Dane-time dying, you know, at quite a young age. He was only 9, and they dealt with it, they moved on, and the drive and ambition never stopped. You know, they always wanted to drive Tally-Ho forward.
Of course, Tally-Ho's had the odd piece of bad luck over the years with Red Clubs and Society Rock dying young. So this success coming now is absolutely so deserved for all those decades of hard work.
Army behind them, Fairyland is hanging on, Fairyland gets the flying 5. Ebro River on the near side, scintillating finish, Ebro Rivers held them off. And Lucille and Pat Dobbs are going to be too good. They hit the line hard and win the Jim Crack. Perfect Power is now flashing home on the far side and will get up to win.
Kodiak was the breakthrough, really. Like, put it this way, he'd be one of the biggest landowners in Westmeath, Kodiak.
Their success at the racetrack is second to none. I mean, it's just incredible.
I know my dad looks forward to like the December foal catalogue coming out, or the Goss foal catalogue coming out every year, and they're always looking forward, you know, getting the mare in foal, seeing what the foal is like, what the yearling does, you know, and every year there's a new stream of 2-year-olds coming on tap, and you want to see who's good, who's going to be the best of the bunch.
Well, it's huge, isn't it? But for a family-run stud to have that much self-made success is amazing. I mean, we have the Magnus in Cornwall, you have the Yoshidas at Shaddai, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the O'Callaghan's at Tally-Ho are on the same level for the amount of success that they produce in a year.
I think what you've seen through the years is commercial stallions with high opportunity to be successful, standing at Tally-Ho, which gives everyone an opportunity, and then the ones that come forward, obviously, which are the cream of the crop, they have the opportunity to be used by local Ireland and the international community. So it's truly an international, truly a global operation that's occurring here at Tally-Ho.
At the end of the day, when you go down to Tally-Ho, you have the sire that's there for 5,000 or the sire there for 30,000.
And Tony will always make you feel welcome, whether you're using a cheap sire or you're using a dear sire. You are the same. You treat the same.
They love seeing enthusiasm. They love seeing new people coming on, and like they're more than happy to help them, give them advice, talk to them. And there's a lot of people who've come through Tally-Ho and they've enjoyed it, and they've learned plenty. But they've also been people that my parents have helped, and they'd also consider friends, not just while they're at Tally-Ho, when they leave Tally-Ho.
They look after their clients incredibly well, and in particular when their clients are selling phones, like they support their clients' phones, second to none.
Tally-Ho wouldn't be the same if one of them wasn't there. It's very much the two of them.
Anne and Tony O'Callaghan have done it all. They have established a neck-wine dynasty at their Mullingar farm that stretches around the world, and they are an inspiration to many in our business. They are indeed true superstars of the Irish bloodstock industry.
Well, Lord, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, they normally shun the limelight, but tonight they have to take centre stage as we welcome the new Hall of Fame inductees. Please be upstanding for Anne and Tony O'Callaghan. I'm going to have a quick word here with the two of you, Anne and Tony. I know that neither of you would be microphone friendly, but Tony, can I just start with you and say to you, come up here to us. I know you're a man who likes to let the horses do the talking, and look at, you have bred, sold, and your stallions have sired Group 1 winners by the new time in 2021. Which area of the business gives you the most pleasure?
I suppose looking at him, watching him win, watching the produce win, and the horses we breed winning, that is which I like best.
But I mean, you see them right through from conception to breezing them to even an odd time winning with them.
Yeah, but seeing him win the good races like Perfect Power, Middle Park, Primorne, Cheveley Park, all those on several occasions, I enjoy watching that.
The success of your stallions is second to none, really. When it comes to looking for, I know you're not going to give me the true secret of how to buy a successful stallion, but what is essential for you in a horse you're going to stand at Tally-Ho?
Oh, I suppose a bit of speed and pay for him.
But you surely don't have to worry with the paying bit these days.
Yeah, we have had the odd bad one too, let me tell you. So
when you started Tally-Ho, what is it, 4 decades ago or so? I mean, did you ever envisage that it was going to grow into the enterprise that it is now, the scale at which it's at?
Well, sure, I hadn't planned, but you know, we just kept pushing the whole time. And when we had the setbacks, it never bothered me too much. We just kept rolling on and put our head down, and when the bad days came, we put up with them and rolled on, you know, the next day.
And can I come in here to me for a second? I know you're not a limelight person. Just tell me a little bit about the dynamic of the family, because it is a true family operation.
It's all about teamwork, and just everybody slots in, and if a hole needs to be plugged,
There's somebody there to do it.
Hopefully.
That's for sure. I mean, I know that you play a huge role. I'm not sure, it was off screen, one of the boys talked about the times around the kitchen table, the 4 of you there, and everything is discussed.
The engine room.
The engine room. And who's the captain? Sorry? Four captains, according to Tony. No comment. You're far too discreet. I'm going to ask you a final question, and I know it's the kind of question you'll probably think, oh my God, why you ask? Sum this lady up for me.
It's a hard job. Look, she's there every day. She's a great help. She's there morning, noon, and night. So what else can I say? She's always there when we want her, and couldn't do any more.
Well, somebody said that they couldn't imagine either the place without one of you. You are a power team. You are a great family business. Ladies and gentlemen, our latest inductees to the Hall of Fame, Tony and Anne O'Callaghan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing more to say for now except to congratulate the 26th inductees into the ITBA Hall of Fame, Anne and Tony O'Callaghan. And in a flash, it's done and dusted. Shortly, you'll be able to dance the night away to DJ Stuart Quinn and afterwards be entertained by Mark Quinn in the Residence Bar. For now, it's just for me to say well done to all our award winners, to thank all our sponsors, and to wish you all a safe, healthy and happy 2022. Good night and keep winning.